Good morning from Yami B TV. Wishing you all well as usual. Now, before I get into a few other things that are being talked about, of course, on mainstream TV networks, right? Today is the day that the scumbag, the Southport killer, Axel, appears to get sentenced today. Now, I have to say, first of all, I apologize for misleading you on what sentence I thought he was going to get the other day. I suggested and was absolutely adamant that he was going to get a whole life tariff, which means he will spend the rest of his life in prison with no going before a parole board, and that he would die in prison. Well, not such the case. So let you lot that know, but there are a lot of people that don't. I checked it all out. People were ringing me and I checked it all out. And you can't get a whole life sentence where you have to die in prison, like I said, without going in front of the parole board if you're under 21, all right? So if he gets a sentence today of imprisonment, the likelihood is that the minimum term that he will have to serve will be between 30, 40 or 45 years of that kind, I believe, right? Why don't I think he's not going to get a prison sentence? Because I believe that the powers that be probably would have wanted to give him a whole life sentence. Remember, a whole life sentence is different from a life sentence, because with a life sentence, you get a chance to appear before the parole board when your minimum term is up, right? So if he gets a minimum term life sentence, he will be able to appear in front of a parole board in 30, 35, 40 years, etc., right? But I believe today we're going to find out that he gets indefinitely in a mental institution, because not because they're giving him a chance or like using his mental health, simply because they wanted to give him a whole life tariff and leave him in there where he'll never get out anyway. But of course, that's just my opinion. I'm just thinking what they might be thinking. But of course, we have to wait and see what happens today. But either way, justice will not be served. All right, on that one. Now, amazing as well that other thing, the sadness in Germany. You probably heard more children and an old man dying, other people being injured by an Afghanistan immigrant. Right. The other sad news coming in from Plymouth last night is unfolding as we talk more. Probably things are going to come in on those major TV networks. And also there's another weirdo that's run into a place of worship in France, bollock naked, and started stabbing himself, right? This is the world we're living in, and another immigrant as well. So I hear at the moment, not too sure about that one. Don't quote me on it, all right? The authorities are blaming now for the Southport killer's murders. They're blaming Amazon Prime or Amazon TV, saying it's the internet, it's the thing that gets everybody going. And when David Davis, the Labour MP, died, right, by another immigrant, if that has to be said, they blamed the internet as well and having free speech and everything. The one thing that we all know in this life, it is not the internet and people, what they say, that kill people. It is people that kill people, all right? So they've got for 1 minute they admit that they was wrong, and the next minute they always have to backtrack on what they're saying. And this is why I told you, it's all right, some of you saying that, yeah, but Yami, when he first came out, you didn't really like Tommy Robinson. Yeah, but I only had one perception of Tommy Robinson from the category A jails. So I only got one big view from people that just never liked him. I didn't have no experience on the outside world. But it has to be said, how could it be that Tommy Robinson gets so many things right? No, I am actually a supporter now of Tommy Robinson. And I'll tell you that now. He's got too many things right for me to question his integrity and his morality and his reasoning behind the things that he comes out with, because he seems to have got it right. And it seems that a lot of you got it right. I'm not apologizing for anything, because, you know, I always just try and balance out things in the right way and give everybody a chance to say their bit and that bit and all that. But no, it was Tommy Robinson has probably always known and maybe been a step ahead of everybody else with these blatant cover-ups. And we only ever ask that please just protect our people. And again, the other thing that we talked about on Yami B TV before, during that video that I took down all those months ago, was that in history, when there's been terrorist attacks and all that, 2 times before this thing in Germany and before other things that have come to light since then, they always tell you, immigrants or whatever, you're being deported, leave the country now. But you just leave them on the street still. They know they got to leave the country, but then if they have to leave the country, put them in detention until they leave. Because what you're doing is putting a red rag to a bull by saying, listen, you got to leave, right? Just get yourself sorted and leave. You're making them feel, because they're weirdos and they're raving fucking lunatics. So they're thinking, right, they've thrown me out the country. I'll just go and kill children. I'll go and kill innocent people before I go, because I'm not going back to that country. Think about it logically, man. You know what I mean? Do your things properly. We've lost absolute faith in you, man, because innocent people don't deserve to be worried about strange people on our streets that are not even really British, to be that and to feel at risk and all that, and putting their trust in you that you're going to do the right thing by listening to referrals of at-risk people and people that you've deported but letting them roam the streets still. It's that kind of thing that I'm talking about. I'll be up in a little while, sending loads of love to you all and have a blessed day.